On the morning of September 21st, in Bengaluru's Vyalikaval area, an unsettling mystery began to unravel in a quiet three-story building. The residents, living as tenants, started to notice a strange, pungent stench wafting through the air. By 10 a.m., the smell had become unbearable, prompting alarmed neighbors to alert the building's landlord, Jayaram. Determined to find the source, Jayaram climbed to the third floor, where the stench was strongest. At the door of one apartment, he was forced to cover his nose with a handkerchief. The odor so overpowering it left no doubt something was seriously wrong. He quickly recognized the unit belonged to a tenant named Mahalakshmi, whose door was securely locked. When repeated calls to her mobile phone went unanswered, Jayaram's concern deepened. Searching through his records, Jayaram located an alternate contact, Mahalakshmi's mother, Meena Rana. He recalled Meena occasionally visited her daughter and held a spare key to the apartment. Without hesitation, he called her, describing the locked door, the unbearable odor, and the silence from Mahalakshmi. Jayaram urged Meena to come immediately. Within the hour, Meena arrived, accompanied by her younger daughter, Lakshmi. By now, the tension in the air was palpable. Two male neighbors joined the group, adding to the growing crowd outside the ominous door. Meena, visibly uneasy, inserted her spare key into the lock. As the door creaked open, a wave of noxious gas burst out, so overwhelming that everyone instinctively stepped back, gagging and shielding their faces. The sinister air inside the room hinted at a dreadful revelation awaiting them. As they stepped into the room, an unimaginable horror unfolded before their eyes. The air was thick with the buzzing of flies, and insects scurried across the floor, all converging toward a small, single-door refrigerator. A dark, dried trail of blood snaked its way to the fridge, a macabre path that filled everyone with dread. Despite their trembling hands and racing hearts, they summoned the courage to open the fridge. What they found inside left them frozen in shock. Dismembered human body parts, gruesomely stored like grotesque relics. Meena Rana let out a blood-curdling scream, her mind unable to process the horrific scene. She stumbled out of the room, overwhelmed and trembling, her cries echoing through the building. Outside, her screams drew a crowd of alarmed neighbors and curious onlookers. Meanwhile, the landlord and a few brave neighbors, covering their noses against the overpowering stench, re-entered the nightmarish room. The chilling sight left them shaken to their core. Wasting no time, they called the police, their minds racing with questions. Who could have done something so horrific, and why? But who was Mahalakshmi, the tenant of this now infamous room? What chain of events led to such a grisly discovery? To uncover the answers, we must trace this story back 35 years, to a quiet village called Tikapati in neighboring Nepal. Here lived Charan Singh, who secured a steady factory job and built a life with his wife, Meena Rana. Their family grew with the birth of two daughters, Mahalakshmi, the elder, and Lakshmi, her younger sister. Seeking better opportunities, the family moved to Bengaluru, where the sisters received a good education. As time passed, Mahalakshmi blossomed into a young woman. By 2019, at 25, her family arranged her marriage to Hemant, a man working at a clothing store in Bengaluru's Nelamangala area. At first, life seemed promising. However, just 11 months into their marriage, cracks began to show. Arguments erupted between the couple, fueled by suspicion and mistrust. Tired of the constant turmoil, Mahalakshmi chose to separate from Hemant. During this challenging period, Mahalakshmi gave birth to a daughter. But as their differences deepened, she made a heart-wrenching decision to leave her daughter in Hemant's care. By the time the child turned 3, Mahalakshmi had completely severed ties with her husband and moved into the modest 3-story building in Vyalikaval, where she started a solitary new chapter in her life. What led to the gruesome discovery in her apartment? Who was responsible for this appalling act? And how did Mahalakshmi's journey take such a dark turn? Stay with us as we dive into the chilling details of this case, unraveling the secrets and motives behind one of Bengaluru's most shocking crimes. Occasionally, Mahalakshmi's mother, Meena Rana, would visit her, holding a spare key for emergencies. Life seemed to be improving for Mahalakshmi when she met Ashraf, a 30-year-old barber who became a supportive presence in her life. Ashraf helped her find work, and soon she secured a job as a saleswoman at a mall. With a steady income and routine visits to her daughter and ex-husband, Hemant, once a week, Mahalakshmi appeared to be regaining stability. Then came September 3rd, 2024. The last day Mahalakshmi was seen in the colony. After that, she vanished without a trace. 18 days later, on September 21st, the building she called home became the center of a chilling discovery, as the foul odor from her apartment sent shockwaves through the neighborhood. When the police arrived, they quickly took charge, their investigation beginning with the grim evidence found in the refrigerator. Lab tests confirmed the dismembered body parts belonged to Mahalakshmi. What initially seemed like a mystery turned into a horrifying murder case. But questions loomed large. What had led to this brutal crime? Who could have committed such an unthinkable act? One clue immediately caught the investigators' attention. Mahalakshmi's mobile phone was missing from the scene. A new suitcase near the fridge suggested an unfinished plan to dispose of the body parts. With these leads, the police delved into Mahalakshmi's background, starting with her mother, Meena Rana, and her neighbors. Their inquiries pointed them toward 2 key individuals, Ashraf, who had recently grown close to Mahalakshmi, and Hemant, her ex-husband, with whom she shared a rocky past. Both men were brought in for questioning. However, despite their suspicions, the police found no concrete evidence linking either man to the crime. Hemant's call records corroborated his alibi, temporarily shifting suspicion away from him. The investigation then took a pivotal turn. Reviewing CCTV footage from September 2nd and 3rd, the police spotted a mysterious man entering and leaving Mahalakshmi's building. The footage provided the break they needed, redirecting the focus from Ashraf and Hemant to this unknown individual. Who was this man? What connection did he have to Mahalakshmi? As the case unraveled, the police were determined to piece together the puzzle and uncover the truth behind this heinous crime. The police were determined to uncover the identity of the mysterious third man. Tracing Mahalakshmi's call records, they discovered she had been in frequent contact with a number belonging to Mukti Ranjan Roy, a 32-year-old junior manager at the same mall where Mahalakshmi worked as a saleswoman. This connection was more than coincidental, and the investigation into Mukti deepened when they learned he hadn't reported to work for weeks. The breakthrough came when the CCTV footage from Mahalakshmi's building confirmed that the unknown man was, in fact, Mukti Ranjan. With the puzzle starting to come together, the police tracked Mukti's movements through his SIM card. The signal led them to Mumbai, where they uncovered yet another twist. Mukti had been in regular contact with another number belonging to Smriti Ranjan Roy, later revealed to be Mukti's younger brother. Suspicions mounting, the police devised a plan. They contacted Smriti Ranjan under false pretenses to pinpoint his exact location. Once identified, The police apprehended Smriti and began their interrogation. What he revealed was both shocking and grim. Mukti Ranjan was indeed Mahalakshmi's killer. Smriti disclosed that Mukti had been grappling with severe depression and had recently visited their village in Odisha, claiming he needed to see their mother. On September 24th, the police, along with Smriti, traveled to Odisha in pursuit of Mukti. But when they arrived on the morning of September 25th, it was too late. They found Mukti's lifeless body hanging from a tree in his village. The man they had been tirelessly searching for had taken his own life, leaving behind a trail of devastation and unanswered questions. At the scene, the police discovered a scooter with a diary inside it. The diary held Mukti's chilling confessions, detailing his reasons for killing Mahalakshmi. It also revealed that he had confessed his crime to his mother upon returning to the village. As they pieced together the accounts from Smriti, Mukti's mother, and the diary, the full story of the tragic crime emerged. Mukti Ranjan Roy, a man consumed by love and possessiveness, had developed an intense attachment to Mahalakshmi during their time working together. What began as admiration turned into obsession. Mukti's world came crashing down one fateful day when he glanced at Mahalakshmi's phone and saw pictures of her with other people. Overcome by jealousy and betrayal, he confronted her. This confrontation escalated, leading to a rift between them. The diary revealed the depth of Mukti's despair and his inability to let go of Mahalakshmi. What followed was a series of dark, irreversible decisions that culminated in her tragic murder. Mukti's possessive love, fueled by insecurity and mental instability, ultimately destroyed two lives, Mahalakshmi's and his own. Mukti Ranjan's obsession with Mahalakshmi had been brewing for months. He wanted to marry her, repeatedly trying to convince her, but Mahalakshmi evaded the topic, unwilling to commit. On the night of September 3rd, everything came to a head. Mukti was at Mahalakshmi's home, pleading once again for her hand in marriage. Frustrated, she refused, and the discussion escalated into a heated argument. As tempers flared, the fight veered into accusations over money and other unresolved matters. What began as a verbal spat soon turned physical. In a moment of rage, Mahalakshmi lashed out at Mukti, but Mukti, stronger and blinded by fury, retaliated. Overcome by anger, he grabbed her and strangled her. Mahalakshmi fought back, but Mukti's grip was too powerful. Moments later, she lay lifeless on the floor. When the gravity of his actions sank in, Mukti panicked. His mind raced with thoughts of how to cover up his crime. Disposing of Mahalakshmi's body was his only option, but the logistics were daunting. Carrying her down from the 3rd floor without drawing attention in the bustling colony seemed impossible. Hours passed as he wrestled with his guilt and fear until he arrived at a horrifying solution that defied all humanity. He would dismember her body to make it easier to transport. The next day, September 4th, CCTV footage captured Mukti leaving his residence and later returning with a trolley bag and a large, sharp knife. He locked himself in Mahalakshmi's apartment and began executing his gruesome plan. With chilling determination, he started dismembering her body. But as the horrific act progressed, the weight of what he was doing overwhelmed him. His hands trembled, and he lost the nerve to continue. Abandoning his plan to transport the body, Mukti stuffed the dismembered remains into the small single-door fridge in the room. He meticulously cleaned the bloodstains from the floor, locked the door, and fled the scene, switching off his phone to avoid being traced. Days later, As the foul odor began permeating the building, it alarmed the residents, leading to the discovery that shocked the entire community. So there you have it, the chilling, tragic story behind one of the most gruesome crimes in recent memory. Mukti Ranjan's obsessive love turned into an uncontrollable rage, leaving 2 lives shattered and a community haunted by the horrors that unfolded within its walls. Stay connected for more real-life crime cases and the stories that reveal the darkest corners of the human psyche.